6 months ago, we installed custom solar panels on my Tesla Model X, aka Beluga.
We got into an issue of here.
How have they held up? What would I do differently this time?
And I think that has to do with the sheer heat.
Since the last time we saw each other, we have left Guatemala and entered our 6th country south to Argentina, El Salvador. And I have to admit, I couldn't get the charger to work.
Is at like plazas, so like they close at night and they won't let you stay.
Are we now left stranded already? Would you take this risk?
And if today's the first time we've met, I am Sandro, this is the lovely Beluga, my daily driver, expedition vehicle and home for nearly 3 years. We have fully renovated her with 250 watts of solar power on the hood, an all-electric kitchen, 10 gallons of running water, but no bathroom. Honestly, we might be the most misunderstood expedition vehicle on the internet. Over the last 3 years, we have roamed all over North America, conquering some of the most remote regions one can drive to. Today's mission, driving the Pan-American Highway from the Arctic Ocean in Tuktoyaktuk to Ushuaia, Argentina, a 19,000 mile journey across the Americas. We'll be sharing the highs, the lows, and everything in between, pushing boundaries hard, so buckle up, and this is our story.
Okay. Hello. I can't believe I get to say this, but welcome to El Salvador, guys. Some of you asked me in the comments like, hey Sandro, can you actually produce a video where you talk more about your solar setup and some of the charging equipment that you have with you? And today I'll definitely do that. Thank you for that comment right here. But yeah, we have a new adapter that is gonna solve, and I'll definitely show that, one of the biggest issues that I've had on the road so far, driving an electric car through Central America. These are the solar panels by Mito Solar. There are 34 little panels here. Each of them is about 3.6 watts. So there's 34 panels here, 125, and then there's 125 on this side. I've had these panels for about 6 months now. I installed them in, oh wow, 7 months now. I installed them. I am sweating. Oh, I'm sorry guys. Oh, the sweat, it is so hot. Let me stand over here. But I installed this in December 2024 with my friend Cal from Ventura.
All right, you just drilled a hole in your Model X.
It smells like fire. Okay, let me grab the camera.
Job, Beluga. I'm proud of you, girl.
But these are specifically designed for marine and solar races. These panels are pricey. Estimated price is around $3,000 to $4,000. The installation process actually went pretty smooth till we got to put this panel on here. Right, so this was the first panel we glued on. There's 3M tape, and then before we glued them on, we put solar junction boxes. So this is the wiring. For the panels, you can choose to get them on top of the car here or underneath it. We decided underneath it to improve air efficiency, right? That's still very important. That was still the idea, is to reduce the drag, which I have not noticed. And being honest here, I have not noticed a significant increase in my watts per mile or my watts per kilometer. 2 junction boxes, one on the right side and one on the left side. And then when we decided to drill some holes, the holes were fine actually. But once we installed this panel first, we got into an issue of here. I think of the curvature itself of the hood, there is kind of like an overlap that we had, right? And I'll talk about that buckling right here too in a second. Essentially, we had to trim off part of the centerpiece here to make it fit. And yeah, you see some buckling here and then actually here as well. It's kind of hard to see, but you can kind of see it right there, 2 little pieces. And I think that has to do with the sheer heat that I'm in right now. And that there's a little bit of, I think, not a stretch, but kind of a push together of this panel. And then after the initial installation of these wires, right, so these wires are poked through here as well. Let me actually take this out for you. Let me figure this out here. Boom, like that. Maybe not put my food there, but this is actually the way I am reheating my soup today. I just put it in the front. It is so hot here. Just for your information, it might just shock you how dirty Beluga is. The insides, her guts. But essentially we ran the wires. I ended up doing this later. I ended up adding some tubing. So it's bent here. I might need to fix that actually. But then this gets pushed down here we poked a hole into the firewall back there. You can kind of maybe see it from this angle better. I don't know. But that wire essentially runs through here, down in this little crevice. And then in a second, you will see where it comes out of, right here. So that's the wire. I ended up adding this little like wiring tube, so it kind of protects it. And then it comes here, and then it goes into the EcoFlow. Open this, and if you can see, that's essentially the solar cable. So that's an XT60. So we soldered that together. Well, when I say we, Cal legit just was, for me honestly, the brains behind this project installation process, because he has worked on his Model Y before, so he's modified it so he knew which pieces to take out. Yeah, he definitely was a guiding hand for this. So Kyle, if you're watching this, thanks mate, and I'll see you soon in about 2 weeks. Just push this back. I have been peaking here even at like 9, like 10 o'clock, because we're getting closer and closer to the equator, over 200 watts. And to fully charge this, the EcoFlow, which I do not usually charge my car with, it takes about a full day of really good sun exposure and me moving my car around to follow the sun. I also want to introduce you to Buddy. He's one of the street dogs here at this like waterfall park here in El Salvador. But little did I know that this guy is a bully. Yeah, you. I fed you last night, thinking you were gonna keep me safe. You're cute, but he bites other dogs. Yeah, there's a little black dog here that's terrified of him, and I get it. Man. Yeah, buddy, not nice. But I'm gonna unscrew this a little bit. Kinda wanna take care of it. I only get one shot with these panels, so I gotta do the small things right. All right, cut this here. This is some shrinking tube. But yeah, I just want a tight seal. Okay, well that looks good. I'm happy with that, but I am telling you, I did not get these panels to solar charge my car. Even though they've helped already one time when I was in Cancun, near that area, I almost discharged my high voltage battery, but thanks to solar, I was able to save the day. But the primary reason why I have these is these two things. It is one, it is my Starlink right there to power that, my fridge, and to power my electric kitchen, which I have right there. And then I have some other cooking supplies. And the reason why I have them on the hood is because I would love to have them all over my car. This is the issue with the Falcon doors, is as practical as they are for my life, I cannot place anything on top. It would just get way too complicated. So that's why I decided just to do the hood, and 250 watts is enough to power all my electronics on board. So when I am going that distance, the long distances where I need to hypermile, I can just charge off solar all my appliances. That looks good. This has kind of become a tradition where I put the flags of the countries that I'm driving through, what I've been through, underneath the hood. And this is Elmat, and he's from El Salvador. Mucho gusto, gracias para hacerlo. So he's gonna put it on. He's gonna make it official that we are in El Salvador, because you guys know the routine. Aquí tenemos El Salvador. Vamos a ver. Sí, perfecto. Gracias. Es un placer para conocerle. So he's actually the guy that works here. He's been very kind. He's been letting me park here for $5 for overnight. Usually when I cross the border, I tend to just stay in close to the border. I don't want to drive too much. And now we're gonna go show you the charging, what I have with me, everything, the major solution, and then we're gonna go out and charge. Otra vez más, muchas gracias para hacerlo. Sí, porque es un honor para visitar su país. Sí. Okay, so the whole front is pretty much dedicated to my hiking gear and some, power tools and then charging equipment. And this is what I'm most excited about. Thank you for Tres Eco Energy out of Guatemala. They provided me with this because this is essentially how I'm going to charge here when it's ungrounded. Because if you guys remember in the last episode, I used a little neutral grounder, and some people commented, and you're 100% right on that. So that's why they gave me this charger which has a really cool little plug too with it. I don't know the brand really name, but it has a really cool outlet. So this has a welder's plug here or a dryer here in Central America. And with this, you can actually plug it in like that. And then you can plug this thing into a regular outlet. So let's actually give this a try. Yeah, my brain is fried. So if this thing works today, I should be able to charge just a little bit. I'm not gonna fully charge my car during the EcoFlow. So if you see on the screen here, it says it is ungrounded right there. That's, if it's grounded, it has a little green check mark, but it's ungrounded. So let's lower the amperage. 6 amps. Let's do 6 amps right now. So let's give 10 amps. Okay, let's do 10 amps then. Let's give 10 amps a try. And it should charge with the car now. Okay, well, we're gonna try this like this. It's not the prettiest. But all right, well, in theory, the car should accept my charge right now. All right, well, let's give this a try. All right, look. It's charging. Look at that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The charging setup right now. And then we have Abuelita. It's charging officially. That is so cool. 100% solar charged is going into my battery pack right now. The premium juice of El Salvador. All right, so now I want to show you guys my big mess up in my frunk, but essentially all my charging equipment that I carry with me. Half of it I actually don't use. Like for example, this charger right here, which I brought to Alaska with me, thinking that this was an outlet that they would have. This is a N1030P. So you put this and then there's a 1450 right there. Never used it, but I still carry it with me just in case. And then I have also a handy dandy extension cord, which is very useful. It looks very like old, but I still use it here. Here I have the full lineup of adapters. And this is essentially from the ts.la charging bundle. I have two 1450s here. This is one that doesn't come with the bundle. It is a TT30. I do not know why ts.la does not include this. This is from Amazon, but this TT30 is very standard at RV parks in the United States. As a 1450, which is what I have right here, is actually not. Only the large RV parks usually carry a 1450. So you will find this a lot more, like in Univik. On the Dempster Highway, I charge with this. So I really don't know why ts.la does not include this, but you can buy this at Amazon and then connect it to your mobile adapter. And this is probably the biggest and baddest of them all. It is, drum roll please, this. A 50-foot, so I think 20-meter extension cable for a 1450 adapter. So I have it here. It weighs a lot, and as you can see, it's never been used because it's still taped. But my friend David, who drove a Chevy Bolt from LA to Brazil, which I was able to meet, thank you if you're still watching this, he suggested that I should bring one of these just in case. All right. I have 3 little magic adapters here with me. So this is a CC1 adapter, very standard in the United States. Everybody's going to NACS, but this is kind of what the other EVs use. Then you have here your Type 2 GBT to NACS adapter. Thank you to Salvador for donating this from the ts.la Owners Clubs in Mexico. I've used it a few times already. And then this is probably the most magical one. It's a CZ2 to a NACS. You find this more in Europe. I'll speak in Dutch to you in a second there. This is your AC, your DC, and then this goes into the car. You have to trick the car, you have to push the little button here, which we did in the last video. I've only peaked at 40 kilowatts, which isn't crazy, but hey, that is the fastest I have charged so far in the last few months. So we'll take it. And then I have my regular mobile adapter here as well. So this can go in any outlets. This is actually my backup to my backup. If you remember one of my last videos, we used this to bypass a critical safety feature, but that meant that we were able to charge at an outlet in Guatemala, in Antigua. But do note that it does bypass a critical safety feature, so risk is to you. And for those curious, this is how everything fits inside my beautiful frunk. The stuff for your junk, right? Well, I mean, valuable. Fuck, damn. It's about 4:30 right now, and that's actually early for dinner, but I have to drive another 30 minutes to find my charger for tonight. So I'm gonna cook dinner right now. Some eggs with some tortillas and some chips. Yeah, sounds good. We have about 96% battery on the EcoFlow. So I picked these up yesterday from the market. I want to show you the size of these avocados here in El Salvador. Look at that. Look at that. Los tres. Okay, aquí tienes. ¿Sí? Dos manos. Son muy ricos. But yeah, little chips can go a long way. You too? Wow. Elmer was telling me, I had a little bit difficulty with his name, but he was telling me what life was like a few years ago here in El Salvador before the president pretty much locked everybody up. And it's just so fascinating that now El Salvador is one of the safest countries in the world. When I tell people that, they don't believe me, but it's true. And he says he feels super liberated. Yeah, now he can walk village to village without having these narcos control points, essentially. Because previously, you couldn't travel from village to village because of how much control they had over the country. So this is pretty cool. So I have this one rule, which I'm not trying to break right now, is I do not drive at night. And right now it is about 5:30. Let me actually put my Starlink on. So I have data. If you're wondering, Sandro, how come your hair is wet? Did you shower? And honestly, yeah, I just did. Alman was like, hey man, like, we don't have showers, but you can use this. So I was like, all right. Alman, nos vemos. Gracias para su paciencia y todo. Entonces, adiós. Adiós. All right, so now we're heading to the charger. Hola.
For my travels, I've been using the PlugShare app to find charging. I've added chargers in the app when I randomly find them, a bit of a scavenger hunt it feels at times. As you can see, the PlugShare map, El Salvador does not have any fast chargers, but the level 2 chargers that are located throughout the country offer enough options to roam with confidence. Well, so I thought.
We are here, I think. So it's a J1772 adapter. Plug this in. Well, here it goes. It's blue. Already downloaded. Ahead of the game, guys. Start charge. Oh, sign up. All right. Well, it should be starting to charge now. Connect the charger plug to the EV. It's already in there. Let's do that again. All right, let's try that again. What a rookie am I. Connect. But do I wait? All right, well, we're gonna try one more thing, and it just started raining. This is frustrating. I thought I would just land here and just go straight to bed, but let's figure this out. So a little bit umbrella time. Bring you guys with me. Oh. Super. Sorry about that. Not the best look, but. Okay, so I'm on the phone with my friend Jimmy, who lives in his Cybertruck now, and he's calling the international hotline for help because I cannot get through their line. So I reached out to my friend Jimmy, and he's trying to figure this out for me through WhatsApp because I'm calling through Wi-Fi right now. I have an eSIM, but for whatever reason, it just does not want to activate. Yo, Jimmy boy.
How far is
One is like 50 minutes away and the other one is an hour and a half to the coast. But the thing is, everything here is at like plazas. So like they close at night and they won't let you stay. So that's the, yeah, man.
Yeah. Do you have enough juice to get to either of them tomorrow?
Yeah, I should be able to get to one of the other service plazas tomorrow because the distance is small. I have 23%. It's cool enough, so no camp mode. Boy, but he says it's offline.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Man, he's just lazy. I have like there's power. The blue light's blinking, so like.
Oh, and he said it's not connected to the network.
Damn. All right. Well, I appreciate it. Okay. After legit negotiating for the last, I don't know, hour or so, they're letting me charge on a 110 so I can get some juice for tonight. But boy, this is a great section to try this new adapter that I got without the grounder. What a day. See. Legit, after ¿cuántas horas? 2 horas? We're gonna give this a try. Okay, it's charging.
Ahí está, ¿eh?
Sí, mira.
Ahí están las 8.
Sí, ya
Okay.
son las 8. It's charging. Okay. Ah, man. We're getting 12 amps. Déjame ver. 15 ampere. Oh, wow, we're getting 50 amps. That is awesome. Let's go. Ah, señor, ¿te puede dar un abrazo o no? Sí. Sí, gracias.
Ahí estamos.
Vamos. I feel a little bit VIP status right now. The security guy put 2 cones for us with a regular outlet right there in the wall, connected to the car. Thank you so much for watching with us today. And honestly, when I woke up this morning, I did not think that I would have to go and jump through all these hoops with all the charging equipment that I had. It's interesting that I'm actually officially using the new one that I got. This was not planned. And Blink, get your shit together. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and let's keep pushing boundaries because that's what this journey is all about. Cheers.